Well, hello again. Today I'm going to review Star Wars Darth Plagueis by James Luceno. Now, on some level, I've been expecting this book for a long time. Even before I even heard this book was going to be out, I knew that they were going to write a book about Darth Plagueis. And the reason being that in Star Wars Episode 3, there's a scene where Palpatine and Anakin are at this opera. At least I think it's an opera. It's some sort of a space showy thing. And Palpatine tells Anakin the legend of Darth Plagueis the Wise. And he describes him as a Dark Lord of the Sith who is so powerful and wise he could influence the midichlorians to keep people he loves from dying. And that his ultimate downfall was that he wasn't powerful enough to keep himself alive. That just struck me as kind of interesting, and I always knew that they were going to come out with a book about that. And I was real excited one day when I was out shopping, and I saw this book sitting on the shelf, and that was like a couple weeks ago. This book really isn't all that old. It's really only a couple weeks old. Copyright 2012. Just came out very recently. I got this copy from the library. I had to reserve it before they even ordered it, and I was the first one to get it. Now, one bit of advice I can tell you about this book is Star Wars Episode 1 is now in theaters in 3D. You should probably read this book before going to see that, okay? And the reason being is that this book is it's really the prequel to Episode 1. It's the immediate prequel. It explains everything that is happening at the beginning of Episode 1. Explains why there's a blockade of Naboo. It explains, really how the Trade Federation got involved in everything as far as, Sidious's master plan, what the master plan is. It explains a lot. And it also explains why Darth Plagueis and how he did the things he did with experimenting with life and death. There's a really logical reason as to why he was so fascinated with, keeping people alive and wanting to keep himself alive. And it really makes a ton of sense. It ties into Darth Bane quite a bit, even though Darth Bane was thousands of years beforehand. They make a lot of references, okay? And the only spoiler I'm going to give you in this review is that both Plagueis and his master, to an extent, they go into him a little bit, but they explain that the rule of two is coming to an end. You always had the rule of two that Darth Bane started, which was in the Sith order there will always be one master and one apprentice. Well, they're starting to question that, and Plagueis' idea for what's going to be is totally different. And they also go into Palpatine, how he was recruited to become the new apprentice to Plagueis, and some of Plagueis' rivals, because apparently there were other Dark Force users out there. And they explained the history of Naboo a little bit. Yeah, so that's about it. But be sure to check this out. Star Wars Darth Plagueis by James Luceno. It is an awesome book. It is essential to the series of Star Wars. I mean, if you read any one Star Wars novel, it should be this, because this explains so much, and it really does set up the later movies, especially Episode 1, which I also recommend seeing, because, hey, it's a Star Wars movie. Why not? It's cool. So be sure to check this out. I give this 4 out of 5 stars, and thank you for watching.